Paramahamsa Parivrajakarya Stota Shata Srishti Madhis Divine Grace. Yes, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakarya Stota Shata Srishti Mad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माई की जय यमुना माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय भक्ति देवी की युग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की निताय गौ प्रेमानंदे all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamaśloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. We are reading from Canto 5, Chapter 19, a description of the island of Jambudvip. Text 22. Kim dushkare na kratubhistapo vrate. Kim dushkare na kratubhistapo vrate. Dana dibirva dyujayena falguna. Dana dibirva dyujayena falguna. Nayatra narayana pada pankaja. Nayatra narayana pada pankaja. Smriti pramusta tishayendriyotsavat. Smriti pramusta tishayendriyotsavat. Kim dushkarena kratubhistapo vrate. Dana dibirva dyujayena falguna. Nayatra narayana pada pankaja. Smriti pramusta tishayendriyotsavat. Kim dushkarena kratubhistapo vrate. Dana debirva dyujayena falguna. Nayatra narayana pada pankaja. Smriti pramusta tishayendriyotsava.
Kim dushkarena kratubhistapo vrate.
Kim dushkarena kratubhistapo vrate. Dana debirva dyujayena falguna.
Nayatra narayana pada pankaja.
Nayatra narayana pada pankaja. Smriti pramusta tishayendriyotsava.
Kim dushkarena kratubhistapo vrate.
Kim dushkarena kratubhistapo vrate. Nanadivirva Hridayena Falguna Nayatra Narayana Pada Pankaja Sudhi Pradamshtadishendriyosava Kim Dushkarena Kratuvistapovrate Kim Dushkarena Kratuvistapovrate Nanadivirva Hridayena Falguna Nayatra Narayana Pada Pankaja Smriti Pramishaditayendriyotsava. Word meanings. Kim, what is the value? Dushkaraihi, very difficult to perform. Naha, our. Kratubihi, with performances of sacrifice. Tapaha, with austerities. Vrataihi, vows. Dana adibihi, with executing charitable activities and so on. Va, or Dyujayena, with achieving the heavenly kingdom. Falguna, which is insignificant. Na, no. Yatra, where. Narayana Pada Pankaja, of the lotus feet of Lord Narayan. Smritihi, the remembrance. Pramushtha, lost. Atishaya, excessive. Indriya Utsavat, due to material sense gratification. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. The demigods continue. After performing the very difficult tasks of executing Vedic ritualistic sacrifices, undergoing austerities, observing vows, and giving charity, we have achieved this position as inhabitants of the heavenly planets. But what is the value of this achievement? Here we are certainly very engaged in material sense gratification, and therefore we can hardly remember the lotus feet of Lord Narayan. Indeed, because of our excessive sense gratification, we have almost forgotten his lotus feet. Purport. The land of Bharatavarsha is so exalted that by taking birth there, one can not only attain the heavenly planets, but also go directly back home, back to Godhead. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 9:25, Yanti deva vrata devan pritrin yanti pritim vrataha bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyajinopima. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. Those who worship ancestors go to the ancestors. And those who worship me will live with me. People in the land of Bharatvarsha generally follow the Vedic principles and consequently perform great sacrifices by which they can be elevated to the heavenly planets. However, what is the use of such great attainments? As stated in Bhagavad Gita 9:21, Shine Punye Matyalokam Vishanti. After the results of one's sacrifices, charity, and other pious activities expire, one must return to the lower planetary systems and again feel the pangs of birth and death. However, one who becomes Krishna conscious can go back to Krishna, Yanti Madhyajinopima. Therefore, the demigods even regret having been elevated to the higher planetary systems. The denizens of the heavenly planets regret that they could not take full advantage of being born in the land of Bharatvarsha. Instead, they became captivated by a higher standard of sense gratification, and therefore they forgot the lotus feet of Lord Narayan at the time of death. The conclusion is that one who has taken birth in the land of Bharatvarsha must follow the instructions given personally by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yad gatvan anivartante tadhama paramam mama. One should try to return home, back to Godhead, to the Vaikuntha planets, or to the topmost Vaikuntha planet, Goloka Vrindavan, to live eternally in full bliss, knowledge, and the companion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratashe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatam aham vande Shri Gurum Dinatari. Hare Krishna. So welcome to our daily morning Bhagavatam discussion. So we're reading this particular verse, Canto 5, chapter 19, verse number 22. Translation once again. The demigods continue. After performing the very difficult task of executing Vedic ritualistic ceremony sacrifices, undergoing austerities, observing vows, and giving charity, we have achieved this position as inhabitants of the heavenly planets. But what is the value of this achievement? Here we are certainly very engaged in material sense gratification, and therefore we can hardly remember the lotus feet of Lord Narayan. Indeed, because of our excessive sense gratification, we have almost forgotten his lotus feet. So we'll see a little recap of this particular words. So in this chapter, so the title is a description of the island of Jambudvipa. So in this Jambudvipa, there are many varshas. In these varshas, there are many inhabitants who are worshipping the predominating deity over there. So in this particular chapter, if you see in Kimpurusha Varsha, so where Hanuman with the other inhabitants glorifying Lord Ramachandra from verses 3 to 8. And after that, Narada is worshipping or glorifying Naranarayan Rishi from text 11 to 15. And later in the verse 16 to 18, so a little more geological description of this particular Bharatavarsha is given. And in the verse 19, it's mentioned about the living entities in this Bharatavarsha. So how they are bound by the three modes of material nature and karma. And how to come out of these three modes, how to come out of the cycle of karma. So it's mentioned in the verse 20. It is only by the process of Bhakti Yoga in the association of pure devotees. And in the next verse, there's 21, where demigods are glorifying Bharatvarsha, or the inhabitants, or the human beings basically. So how glorious to be born as a human being. So they are containing the same glorification of Bharatvarsha, or the human beings, in this particular verse as well, in today's verse. So where demigods are mentioning here, so we have performed great sacrifices, Vedic sacrifices, ritualistic ceremonies, austerities, vows, charity, and got these heavenly bodies in the heavenly planets. And they're telling, but what is the use? What is the use of this? But even Krishna also tells in the 18th chapter, verse number 5, Bhagavad Gita, Yagyadana tapakarma natyajam karyameva tat yagyodanam tapaschaiva pavanani manishina. So this charity, sacrifices, austerity, vows are required even for great personalities to be purified. But after performing, but attaining the body of a heavenly planet, heavenly kingdom, what is the use of this great achievement? Because there is no use of this great achievement until and unless we remember the lotus feet of Lord Narayan. And this, talking about this austerity sacrifice, and it is mentioned this Bharatvarsha, the planet, is Tapobhumi. So this land is meant to do for tapasya. For anything we need. So we need to do tapasya, either for material thing or spiritual thing. Even for a material thing, if we take for a student, if you want to get a good marks in the education, he has to do a lot of tapasya. So first tapasya is he has to go to school first, regularly, with a good attendance. And they have this percentage also, 75%, at least in engineering college you have this. And for a person, it's a tapasya. Tapasya means taking some difficulty for the body for achieving something higher, even though I don't like it. Even for a student to get good marks or to pass the degree, she has to do tapasya of attending the classes and studying. For what? To get one job, maybe in metropolitan city like Bengaluru. So for 20 to 23 years, at least for 25 years, one has done huge tapasya to achieve something material, which is even tiny, insignificant thing. And what to speak about, and let's say for a student, this is tapasya. For an employee, so after getting a job, it is another big tapasya. Till the age of 60 or 62, retirement age. It's a huge tapasya going to the office, in the bus, traffic. Huge tapasya. To maintain a family, it is also a tapasya. And for a householder, to maintain a family, when there's a house and there are wife, children, when a person is living in a society, it is his duty to maintain name, prestige, to maintain some relationship with the people surrounding. So for that also he does lot of tapasya to maintain status quo. So to live in this material world, in a normal life also, one has to do lot of tapasya. And then what to speak about becoming a demigod in the heavenly planets? How much tapasya it's needed to do it? But we are not going to discuss about that austerity now, because we can refer other scriptures. But you see, even after performing so much of austerities, to become a demigod in the heavenly planet, there is no use of it. Because even after getting a body like that, so if one engages in higher standard of sense gratification, if one forgets the Lord, what is the use of this? And many people in this world think that having a higher standard of sense gratification or going to the heavenly planets, that is the goal of life. And Krishna tells about these people who think like this are having less knowledge or less intelligent. In second chapter, verse number 42 and 43. So where Krishna is telling this, Yamima pushpitam vacham paravavanti avipaschitaha vedavada rata partha nanyat astiti vadinaha कामात्माना स्वर्गपरा जन्म कर्म फलप्रदाम क्रिया विशेष बहुलाम योगैश्वर्या गतिम प्रति. So men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various spiritual activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification, opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. So their life goal is only this: how to get higher form of sense gratification. And Krishna is telling this: these people are less intelligent or doesn't have full knowledge. They have very less knowledge. And these people are the ones who gets attracted to these flowery words of the Vedas. How to get higher sense gratification. And even if a demigod thinks like this, I am getting this nice sense gratification, and it is natural for a person to forget the lotus feet of Krishna. And the next verse also tells the same thing. So 244. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam tayapahrita chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadho na vidiyate. So the one who is attached to this bhoga and aishwarya, to the opulence and sensory gratification, so he cannot have a fixed mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. And that is what even the demigods are also telling this, lamenting over here. So we got this great opulence, sense gratification, but what is the use? Because they cannot remember Krishna. So what is the mechanism here? So one has the desire to do sense gratification. So this desire to sense gratification leads to enviousness. So enviousness to automatically to others. When there is envy to others, so one forgets Krishna. And this person is always thinking about others. So if he is enjoying more, how can I enjoy? So there is always a competition. So in this thought of competition, so there is no question or thought of Krishna. And there are many examples. So one example would discuss how this sense gratification desire leads to enviousness. And because of this, a person is ready to do anything for his own sense gratification. He is ready to go to any extent. The consequence is forgetting Krishna. And we know the great example as Lord Indra. So whenever any person does some great austerity, so he has that fear that he may also become an Indra. So he may occupy his particular post. So he sends many damsels of heaven to distract that particular ascetic. So we see the Vishwamitra also is doing great tapasya. And Indra got little scared of it. So he sent Menaka to distract him. And in the 4th canto, this particular description comes about sage Kandu. He's also doing great austerity. And Lord Indra got scared. So he sent another damsel of heaven. And her name is Pramalocha. And sage Kandu also got distracted. Similarly, another case also comes in the 4th canto. So King Prutu Maharaj, who is a plenary expansion of the Lord, so he started doing 100 horse sacrifices. So sacrifice, another meaning what Krishna kills in Bhagavad Gita is, sacrifice means pleasure of Krishna. So for the pleasure of Vishnu, whatever you do, that is called sacrifice. So in that mood, Prutu Maharaj is doing this Vedic sacrifices to set an example. So whoever is the leader of the society, even a king, has to do sacrifices, even though he is a pure devotee, to set a standard. Yadyat acharite sreshtas. So while doing so, King Prutu performed 99 sacrifices. So when he is about to do 100 sacrifice, now it's mentioned already in the scriptures. If anyone does 100 sacrifices, so next he will become next Indra. And the particular Indra is in insecurity now. What to do? So Indra wants to steal the sacrifice, the 100 horse from the Ashwamedha Yagya. So when he's about to perform this 100 sacrifice, King Prutu, at that time Indra comes and he steals that particular horse, the last horse, and he takes away that horse in the sky. And at that time, sage Atri notices this, and he tells the son of Prutu, whose name is Vijitasva. So he tells Vijitasva Shri that Indra is taking away the last horse, which is made for sacrifice. Go and catch him, get the horse back. And Vijitasva is running back, chasing Indra. And at that time, so Indra was in a cloth of a sannyasi, in a saffron cloth. And Vichitasvara is about to shoot arrows at Indra to kill him and get the horse back. But looking at the saffron clothes, he didn't do so. And he left and came back. When he's coming back again, Atri will tell you, no, don't do this. Go kill Indra and come back, get the sacrifice, get the horse back. So again he goes back and is about to shoot arrow
at Indra. At that time, Indra got scared. He just left the horse. He left the saffron drops also and became invisible from the place. And Vijitasura got the horse back to the sacrificial arena. Now again, Indra came once again with another plan. He made such an environment. It's completely dense, dark clouds everywhere, pitch dark, so that no one can see. At that time, again Indra came. Again stole the horse. Again, Atri Muni, so he saw this. Again, he ordered Vijitasura. Vijitasura, go. Indra came again. Get the horse back. Again, Indra is in the form of a sannyasi. And he wants to shoot arrow at Indra. But again, he couldn't. He comes back. Again, Atri will say, don't do this. Go kill Indra, no problem. Get the horse back. Again, he points the arrow at Indra. Again, with fearfulness, again, Indra leaves the horse there and becomes invisible. Gets the horse back. Basically, you can see, so even though going to the planet of heavenly kingdom, one has this tendency to do sense enjoyment. And because of this, there is a competition. Who will do more sense gratification, or me or you? If there is any one person who is trying to occupy my space, there is a competition, there is enviousness. So when there is enviousness in the mind, where is the question of thought of Krishna? So to highlight this point, I mentioned this particular pastime. So this is what happens. When there is a question of sense gratification, one cannot think of Krishna. And that is what even demigods are also telling over here. So we have achieved this position as inhabitants of the heavenly planets. What is the value of this achievement? Here we are certainly very engaged in material sense gratification, and therefore we hardly remember the lotus feet of Lord Narayan. Indeed, because of our excessive sense gratification, we have almost forgotten his lotus feet. And the purport, so Prabhupada writes, people in the land of Bharatvarsha generally follow the Vedic principles and consequently perform great sacrifices by which they can be elevated to the heavenly planets. And there is another personality named Prachina Barhi, who is best known for his sacrifices. His name itself is Prachina Barhishat. Barhi means Kushagras. Prachina means east. In the east direction, he would put Kushagras and he would perform all the ritualistic sacrifices. It's mentioned that whenever he is about to finish one sacrifice, in another place, another sacrifice would start. So just like a sun. So sun is there. So now it's in the morning here. Somewhere it's in the night. Sun is present sometime in some place or the other. So similarly, Prachina Barhishat is mentioned like this. If sacrifice is about to finish here, he would start somewhere else. So in this way, he covered the whole planet itself, perform these various sacrifices. But what is the aim of this? To have some higher sense gratification, or to go to the heavenly planets. But Krishna tells, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Kshine Punye Martyalokam Vishanti. Even after performing so many sacrifices, even after going to the heavenly planets, enjoying so much of sense gratification, but still after finishing all these punya credits, one has to come down again to Martyaloka. And again struggle in the pangs of birth and death. However, one who becomes Krishna conscious can go back home, back to Godhead. Therefore, the demigods even regret having been elevated to the higher planets. The denizens of heavenly planets regret that they could not take full advantage of being born in the land of Bharatvarsha. The same feeling even all the demigods. So when Prithu Maharaj and his wife are going back to Godhead, so the description comes in the 4th canto of Bhagavatam, 23rd chapter, where all the demigods, especially the wives of the demigods, are looking both of this couple Prithu Maharaj and his wife, they are going back home, back to Godhead, passing them, and they are feeling how great fortune these people are. They have taken the birth in the Bharat Varsha, and they could attain kingdom of God, and they are going back. But what is our condition? We are stuck in the sense gratification. They are feeling this mood of repentance, or basically they are regretting. What is the use of getting some higher position here? Then what is the solution for this? And not only higher plant systems, even in the present life also, we also have this tendency of sense gratification, the desire to do sense gratification. And to achieve that sense gratification, one is ready to do anything, as we take the example of Indra over here. So how to come out of this? So the solution is ready to do anything for the sake of the mission. So last Sunday also, so Prabhuji, Sanatan Gauchandra Prabhuji has mentioned a very beautiful shloka from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 4, verse number 186. So where it's mentioned, Pragada Premera Yeis Swabhava Achar, Nija Dukka Vignadira Na Kare Vichar. So this is the natural result of intense love of Godhead. The devotee does not consider personal inconveniences or impediments. In all circumstances, he wants to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So from point of a person ready to do anything for one's own sense gratification, two is ready to do anything for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. So basically there should be intense desire to serve the mission, to please Guru and Krishna. Then automatically one can come out of this tendency of sense gratification. And we have seen the many case studies also. And the best case study is the hippies, who are completely in sense gratification. But by the association of Srila Prabhupada, and just to please Srila Prabhupada, to have a smile, to see smile on the face of Srila Prabhupada, they have taken the process of spiritual bhakti. And so they are serving the mission. And the result is the mood of sense gratification is completely lost. And we know this particular pastime, many pastimes are there. So one particular pastime is publishing Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Srila Prabhupada was in a morning walk. And at that time, so there was one Karmi who wants to publish Chaitanya Charitamrita with his own commentary. But Prabhupada don't want this to be done. So before he publishes, Prabhupada wants to publish his Chaitanya Charitamrita. And during the morning walk, he told the devotees. So one of the devotees was Rameshwar Swami Maharaj. He was also there. So during the morning walk, he told Prabhupada, so I want this Chaitanya Charitamrita should be published in 2 months. And the devotees were quite shocked. How it is possible? It's not at all possible. And devotees made this statement, Prabhupada, it's impossible. And Prabhupada made another statement. Impossible is a word in Fool's Dictionary. So after Prabhupada made this statement, he left, he was moving. So Rameshwar Maharaj and one more devotee. So after hearing this, they were standing there only still. Prabhupada was going. They were understood. So our Guru wants this. Now our spiritual lives are online. They have to do something. So they made a huge plan. So many disciples of Srila Prabhupada took up this mission of publishing Chaitanya Charitamrita. And they worked so hard. They would do in shifts, just like people do shifts in Bangalore IT job, 24 hours. So devotees made this 24-hour shift to publish Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Prabhupada personally gave this guarantee. So whoever engages in publishing Chaitanya Charitamrita, I would take them home back to Godhead. And devotees struggle a lot for this. And what is the result? Prabhupada smiled. And after looking at the smile of Srila Prabhupada, so devotees, how much of struggle they took, all the struggle were completely removed from their heart. just to see the smile on the face of Srila Prabhupada. And I heard that Prabhupada gave after that a gift. A gift is cookie for every devotee. So that is their happiness, that is their pleasure. And those 2 months, there is no question of sense gratification, no desire also. In our life also, so when we get targets of doing book distribution, and devotees are completely engaged, and there is no thought of sense gratification. Of course, sometimes we get deviated here and there when we're going out on the material world. But still, the purpose is the service. So sometimes the mood of sense gratification comes and it goes away. So to remember the Lord all the time, someone has to be taking that mission in life. Want to do some service to the mission, to the society. And of course, demigods are telling like this. So at the other angle which we can see is, it is their humility. So demigods are there. So they are very, very great personalities. Since they are great personalities, they are very close to the Lord. And that is why Krishna gave them some service in the material administration. So you can understand their position, the demigod's position. They are very, very close to the Lord, and Krishna personally gave them the service of doing the universal administration. And why they are telling like this then? They are in the service of the Lord. And they proclaim themselves, we are fallen souls. We are not able to remember Krishna. So one lesson is that, yes, they may be engaged in sense gratification. So they may not be, may be able to, not able to remember Krishna. But on the other way, they are very close to the Lord. And Krishna gave them personally the service. So they are very dear to the Lord. So out of humility also, they may be mentioning this statement. Indeed, because of our excessive sense gratification, we have almost forgotten his lotus feet. So it's emphasizing the quality, the important quality of humility. How even a sadhaka should cultivate this part, the particular quality of humility. And the many, many great personalities have performed or showed us how to have this quality of humility. We already had a discussion before also. It's always good to revise ourselves. It's always a reminder. I also want to remind myself. That's why I put this again and again, to remind myself I have to be humble. Any devotee's name which you'd like to mention? So devotees having this mood of humility and pleasing the Lord. Not just humility, deep humility. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, yes. How?
When they came to meet Lord Chaitanya first time, so that time they don't want to come with and Lord Chaitanya, and then Lord Chaitanya says, "Give up your thing."
Yes.
And Sanatana Goswami during Jagannath, Jagannath, when Lord Chaitanya called him to meet. So you came from the ocean side, blisters.
Yes. So that on the way to temple, on the stair to temple, so devotees may not get his touch and they get impure. So in this humility is going taking the other route, which is quite difficult for him. Yes. Any other examples? Hmm.
Or in 10 years, he was in our room or I heard him lecture. He used to take a big century or something. And he used to eat like this, putting his hand back and eat from the mouth. Like whatever comes in front of the eat and just cultivate the data, knowledge in the data.
Okay. Any other examples from the Shastra? Haridas Thakur, yes. So what did he do?
He never went to Jagannath temple. He came from lecture by background.
Yes. So Haridas Thakur, he's a Muslim by bodily. And he's thinking, I'm a Malecha, how can I enter the Jagannath temple? So feeling that humility. And he would take darshan of the Sri Chakra over there, and that is equal to darshan of the Lord. And full that humility. And this humility attracts the Lord. And it's attracting also. So that's why Mahaprabhu would personally bring prasadam from Puri, maybe Anand Bajar, maybe. He took prasadam and gets to Haridas Thakur every single day. So in this way, humility attracts the Lord. Any other examples? Hmm. May it not be our chuda like with the kismis kaju. Yes. So at that time when Sudama went to meet Krishna, so Krishna embraced Sudama. So after the whole pastime, Sudama is going back to his house. So at that point he's thinking, Kwaham daridra papiyam, Kwa Krishna Sriniketanah, Brahma Bandhu Ritismaha, Bahubhyam Parirambitaha. So he's telling, who is Krishna? Sriniketanah. He is the husband of goddess of fortune. I am Nam Daridra. I am fallen Brahmana. Brahma Bandhu, not Brahmana, also Brahma Bandhu. I am a friend of a Brahmana. What qualification do I have? But Krishna is so merciful, he embraced me with his two hands. So in this way, he's feeling humble. And even Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Sri Chaitanya Chaitanya Charitamrita, is also feeling like this. I am even less than the what? Worm in the stool. But these people are great personalities. So this is one of the important tests to see whether sadhaka is advancing or not. So when he is advancing, automatically humility develops. And advanced devotees are the ones who always have this quality of humility. And sadhakas are the ones who doesn't have this humility. And freed always feel pride in their heart. Same humility even our other Vaishnava acharyas also shown through their Vaishnava bhajans. And we can see from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he have this prayer. Amara jivana sadapaperata nahi ko punyera lesha. So still Amara jivana sadapaperata. My full life is committing full of sinful activities. Nahiko punyera lesha. I didn't do even a single pious activity in my life. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling. And if you see our Srila Prabhupada also, he is also showing this humility. He has written 2 bhajans in the mood of humility. Oh Lord, you have got, with some reason, you have got some purpose here. That's why you got me here. But I don't know what to do. You please make me dance, make me dance, make me dance. So I don't have that power to preach. You please speak to me. You please change the heart of this Malechas in the Western country. Of course, he's a great Vaishnava. He can change the hearts of the people. But still, he's depending on the Lord, showing this humility, mood of humility. So the answer is, the solution is how to come out of sense gratification. So one has to work for the mission in the mood of humility. In humility, one should work for mission. So then, this desire for sense gratification comes out from the heart of a devotee, completely eradicating. So how we can cultivate this in our day-to-day life? So everyone should practice it. It's a practice, and also offer prayers to the Lord. And it's not so easy. We were discussing every Bhagavatam class again and again, again and again. But how much I'm able to take it in my life? It's a question of practice and intense prayers to the Lord. Oh Lord, after hearing this again and again, but still I'm not able to implement in my life. Please help me, please help me. So one nice thing is we can offer the same prayers, Vaishnava bhajans, we can offer to the Lord. So that's why every Sunday evening we have this bhajan sandhya. Of course, for the next few days we will not have. but personally we can do. So I see personally many devotees go in front of the Lord and offer these prayers. Especially Vaishnava bhajans are very, very intense. So which are Vaishnava bhajan you like? We can go in front of the Lord and ask for it. And every single day we're singing Vaishnava bhajans only in our artis. Samsara Dava, Shri Guru Charana Padma. These are Vaishnava bhajans only given by Vaishnavas. So one important practice is singing the Vaishnava bhajans in front of the Lord. Together it's very nice. So personally also when we go and offer prayers to the Lord. And the many, many wonderful prayers from Srimad Bhagavatam also. Kunti Maharani prayers. In the mood of humility, she is telling, "Oh Lord, you are such a great personality. You are the supreme personality of Godhead. But I am a woman. I cannot understand you. Katam pashyemi hi striyaha. I cannot understand you, Krishna." And many other prayers, even Prutu Maharaj prayers are there. Brahma's prayers are there. Number of prayers. And we have some document also, one devotee created it. All the prayers from all the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we can offer their prayers, practice, and see how we can also implement these particular prayers in our day-to-day life. It's a question of practice and reciting. And reciting is also very nice. Sometimes we may have a book. So best is without having any slokas in our hand, we can memorize ourselves and grow in front of the Lord and offer these prayers. And another thing is contemplation. So people all around the world, they want sense gratification. And they are engaging in sense gratification. But there is no full satisfaction of the heart. Recently, one devotee shared a video in WhatsApp where Elon Musk, I think he's the richest person right now in the whole world. So in an interview, he's asking, what is the purpose of life? He achieved success, right? People think material achievement is a great success. If it is so, he's a successful personality now in the present, the first class successful personality. If is so, then why is asking this question? What is the purpose of life? So this proves, even though one gets advanced very much in the material life, he cannot be satisfied. The only satisfaction a spirit soul gets in the service of the Lord. And there is no other way. And that is what Bhagavatam also says. Which sloka? Shema eva hi kevalam. So it's mentioned, even though you do many activities, it's waste of time. So I'm asking complete satisfaction of the heart. By only doing this, you'll get satisfaction. Verse number 1 to 6. First canto chapter, verse number 6. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktiradukshajay ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. The many dharmas in this world are there. But paro dharma is serving adokshaja with ahaituki apratihata, without any motive in the heart. If I do this service, I get this. So no motive and 24 hours. But now, as of now, when we are doing some service, there can be some motive. What is the motive? Right now in the present situation, I do book distribution so that I'll be the top book distributor. Everyone will glorify me. Hari Bol, Prabhuji, you're an amazing book distributor. You distribute 20 books, 2 Bhagavatam sets, 2 Chaitanya Charitamrita sets. Amazing. Everyone will glorify me. There is a motive behind it. So this is not pure devotion. This is personal sense gratification. And we have extended sense gratification also in devotional service. Now I am the top book distributor. Extended selfishness means extended sense gratification. My team, yes. My team should win. That is extended selfishness. Now question may come. There is a motive here. Then there is no, ISKCON, my white should win. Even more extended. Now one may ask this question. So there is a motive here. And where is the pure devotion here? Correct? If there is no pure devotion, why would our superiors give this particular task, particular service? Why? There is no pure devotion, no? And we are meant to do pure devotion service. And there is no pure devotion here. There is, we can see motive here. What is the answer for this? How we can justify this? Hmm. That's what. Then there's no pure devotion here.
We can get purify. We can purify ourselves.
Okay. And that's correct only. So we're engaging this so that we get purified. So to get purified, why do you have to make teams? Give targets. Zarat kyun? I can go every day do book distribution. Why to make teams and all? Yes. We'll not have any motivation. No. We are motivated beings. We need some motivation. We need some motivation to do it. So in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, so during the same Anya Bilashita Sunyam, this particular verse, so Prabhupada tells in that whole lecture. So for a householder, he is working like a donkey. Anyone. For a family, he has to maintain a family. He has children, he has a wife. So he has to work hard a lot. What is the motive for him? What is the motive? Of course, love of wife and children. Reciprocation from wife and children. That is the motive. So without motive, a householder husband cannot work. That is the motive for him. So motive is always there. And for book distribution, that is the motive for us. Make teams. If we have two girls, let's see, we have one team in 2022. We couldn't do much distribution. We couldn't do much. In 2023, we got two teams. And automatically, book distribution, it came to another level. So before we were at the last IVF. All the teams are in the first. 2023, from last, we came to the third position. You see that there is a difference. And in the last year, you see, we have three teams. We got top position. Top one book distributor, IYMF. Since it's online, not just IYMF, even congregation also. We have so many teams. Why? Because we are motivated beings. We have the motivation. Without motive, so we cannot do any devotion service. That motive is required. Even though there is not pure devotion here, the motive is not pure, but the service is pure devotion service. The service itself. Book distribution is pure devotion. So the devotees came now. Naveen and Nirata Prabhu. He has that book. And it, like in his lectures also he tells this. Sankirtan is high sadhana. So these great personalities, when they are doing book distribution, it's actual pure devotion because they are doing full year. And their only motive is to please Krishna and Guru Srila Prabhupada. But for us, but we have many other services also. But once in a year, we have to pull up book distribution. So that we will be completely engaged in book distribution. So the activity itself, the service itself purifies us for sure. If we little more scrutinize this, teams, my team want to win, I want to win. So this proves there is some, what we are discussing about, enviousness. Correct? I am envy to other devotees. Sometimes mentioned. So enviousness cannot be engaged in the service of the Lord. But here it proves wrong. It also can be engaged in service of the Lord. Correct? My team should do it. So I will do more book distribution. Our team will do more book distribution. So basically we get purified. The motive is given. Even though it is not completely pure, the activity itself purifies us. So we have to engage in missionary activities. But the mood should be here. Our superiors has given the target. So for their pleasure, I will do this service. So the motive can be, my team should win. Instead of it, if we can reach this target, my superiors will be pleased. So the motive can be changed from this to this. And how to do this? With the same motive, with a mood of humility, as we discussed. So we should have missionary spirit with humility. So what qualification do I have to participate in the Sankirtan Leela? So Krishna's Rasa Leela is there, and people want to be part of that Rasa Leela, for which people are not qualified enough. And then it's mentioned that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this Sankirtan Leela for us. And this Sankirtan Leela is not different from Rasa Leela of Krishna. And this 21st century, we are getting this opportunity to participate in this Sankirtan Leela. This still we are in Krishna's Rasa Leela, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan Leela. So the question should come, what qualification do I have to participate in this Leela? But devotees are so merciful, Prabhupada is so merciful. They gave me this opportunity to distribute books, to get benefit myself and also to help others. Same way in future, if any person takes Bhagavad Gita from our hands, in the future he may become pure devotee. I may not become, but he became pure devotee. Krishna will recognize. He became pure devotee. But how we came into the process of devotion service? Through Bhagavad Gita. Who gave Bhagavad Gita to him? This particular devotee of ISKCON Whitefield. Krishna will remember him. Krishna will be pleased with him. Even though we are not able to become pure devotees, but if we are helping others to become pure devotees or to come to the fold of pure devotion service, Krishna will recognize it. Krishna will take a note of it. Same thing happened in the Dhruva Maharaj pastime also. So Dhruva Maharaj, he got insulted from his stepmother. Her name is Suruchi. His own mother's name is Suniti. Suniti and Suruchi. So Suruchi is stepmother. And Dhruva Maharaj got insulted. And he went to his own mother, Suniti. And he told, this what happened? What should I do? He went crying. And Suniti told, so what can I do, Dhruva? Your father doesn't like me much. He loves your stepmother only. I cannot pacify your agitation. I cannot pacify you. The only person who can pacify you is Vishnu. If you want to have a bigger kingdom than your great grandfather, only Vishnu can give it to you. I cannot give. I'm a poor mother. What can I do? And Dhruva asked, where can I get Vishnu then? I heard that in the forest, sages go to find out Vishnu. You also go. And Suniti encouraged Dhruva Maharaj to go to forest and do tapasya. And as instructed by his mother, so Dhruva Maharaj goes to the forest and he does a crash course of 6 months, intense tapasya. In such a great way, Lord Vishnu personally manifests in front of him after 6 months. So my practice of bhakti started 6 years before. 6 years done. No 2 hands, no 4 hands, no 6, nothing in front. But Dhruva Maharaj in front, just 6 months. How could he do it? Amazing, right? So Dhruva Maharaj, with the great austerity, he got Krishna's darshan, Lord's darshan. And Lord also told, now you enjoy 36,000 of years in this world. And later you can come back to me. So he ruled for several thousands of years, this earthly planet. So after this, he retires himself from the kingdom. He goes to the forest. He does all tapasya. So while he's in the meditation, so there is a vehicle from Vaikuntha comes. In that there are 2 drivers, Nanda and Sunanda. So they are the assistants of Lord Vishnu. So Nanda and Sunanda came, and Dhruva understood these are great personalities. They are having 4 hands. They are assistants of Lord. They came. Now what to do? Now pure devotees of Lord are coming. So what should be done? Have to receive them. Have to pay obeisances, make them sit, offer prayers to them. And at that time, Dhruva Maharaj was choked. He is not able to offer any prayers. Everything he forgot. And what he did, just he paid obeisances, Dandavat, and he chanted Hare Krishna. And Prabhupada writes, if you don't know any prayers, no problem. Just chant Hare Krishna properly. That is the highest prayer. If you chant Hare Krishna, devotees will be pleased. And after that, they get down from the Vimana, and Dhruva Maharaj offers his prayers, he does all the activities, and he gets onto the plane to go back to Godhead. And Nanda and Sunanda tells Dhruva, we came from the Lord, so Lord sent us to take you to the Vaikuntha Loka. And they started going. So in between, Dhruva got a thought. Now I am going to Golok Vrindavan, Vaikuntha basically. Now, how I got this opportunity? He started feeling that gratitude. I got this opportunity. The root cause is my mother. My mother told me to worship Vishnu. And because of her, I'm in here now. Going to the spiritual world. What about my mother? What about my poor mother? He was just thinking in the mind like this. He didn't ask Nanda Sunanda also. What about my mother? And Nanda and Sunanda, they understood the mind of Dhruva. And they told, Dhruva, we understood your heart. Look at there. Your mother is already on the plane going to Vaikuntha. They're showing him personally. And mother is on first plane, before him only. She's going faster. So they told, you don't worry, your mother is also going. No problem. So similarly, this can happen in our life also. Even though we are not able to become advanced devotees, because of our service, either our counseling, mentoring, or book distribution, some person become nice devotees, advanced devotees. Krishna will recognize us. And that is our only hope, nothing else. And who gave us this mission? Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, the Acharya, spiritual masters is given. So we have to take up this mission very seriously and sincerely. So when you take up this mission very seriously, sincerely, with humility, then there is a full possibility of us attaining success in this very life and going back home, back to Godhead. If at all this is missing, if still there are some material desires, one may end up in the heavenly planets also. And later we have to regret like this. Why couldn't I been born in the Bharatvarsha, having got human form of life? I couldn't get success. In humility, we have to. So best in humility, take up the mission very nicely and achieve the success by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Or else we have to regret. So okay. So with this, I would like to conclude. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare. Any questions? Yes.
And they want to be in the world to perform all those. We see Swanishtha track and Swanishtha track. So from Aditya, they go to the Aditya, from they go higher and they are also possible to perform.
They are also performing here. They are also performing. So it's mentioned in the previous verses also. So demigods where Lakshmi Devi will be there, she'll be offering prayers, and there are many other denizens also will be there. So in Swargaloka, there is Vamanadev, he is there personally, and Indra is worshipping Vamanadev. So they are worshipping, and devotion service is there, but not so intense. As intense in the here earthly planet, Bharatvarsha. So there is sense gratification is also there, devotional service is also there. But because of the effect of sense gratification, that devotional service may not be so effective, so intense. So that is the point mentioned here. But if they are not engaged in sense gratification and they are doing devotional service, they can go. this Krama Pradik, they can go. There is no problem. They can go. But generally speaking, it's very difficult. Organic track. Yeah, they keep going. That is organic track. But what path given to us is inorganic. In life, one life you have to finish. No going to step by step. So our parampara mood is in one life you have to finish. That intense bhakti can happen here. Let's say in our day-to-day life also. So when you have nice facilities, of course that is facilities given by Krishna in the society for us, so that we can do nice devotional service. But if you're getting attached to it, there is always option of attachment. Yes or no? We should be very, very careful about it. If you get attached to any material thing, that thought of Krishna will not be there intense. On the other way, if you have some difficulties, thought of Krishna is automatically there. And that difficulties are possible here. There's not much difficulty in the spirit, in the heavenly planets, because everything is there. Difficulties are possible here for going for book distribution. If you don't have money in Volope, we have to depend on other devotees. And we want a big porter. And porter, they're not accepting. And our only place is Majestic or any good place. So at that time, automatically will depend on Krishna. Krishna, for service, please get some book, some porter. You send some porter person so that you can board the books and go. I don't know if there is book distribution out there in the heavenly planets. We got this service. So generally speaking, that is a gradual process, they can go. There is also devotion service. But without getting attached to sense gratification, when one does devotion service, they can go in that path. That is there. Generally speaking, since there is a lot of sense gratification, intense bhakti is not possible there. It is possible here.
Mode of goodness helps us to progress in life. And we hear that demigods are in mode of goodness. They have a clarity of understanding who are not doing sense. How come they are engaging in sense gratification? Even if like plus if some person is in mode of goodness, they might see that everything on demigods are in the clarity.
Yes. So material world is made of three modes of material nature. So three modes are always there, but demigods may have higher proportion of mode of goodness, but still there is a touch of ignorance and passion. They are not in pure goodness. That is a problem. Passion and ignorance are always there, maybe in less proportion. Goodness is more, but touch of passion, ignorance is there. That can become dominant at any time. So now here, ignorance and passion is more. There, goodness is more. But passion, ignorance, touch is there. Still there is. That is the reason. That's why Kshine Punya Martilokam Vishan. That is why they fall. That's the thing. Understood? Any other question? Clear? Okay. We have a few minutes. If devotees can share on one point, I can also understand what I spoke.
As been starting with tapasya, so the people do so much tapasya for little sense gratification, and they will be able to definition of tapasya like which is inconvenience for us, and we do for Krishna's pleasure. So that is what tapasya. And so the desire for sense gratification leads to enviousness, and which leads to forgetful of Krishna.